Healing doesn't always look like peace or progress. Sometimes it looks messy, confusing, or that you're going backwards. But often those moments are actually signs that you're healing, that you're starting to recognise what's happening inside of you and learning how to respond differently. In this video, we'll look at some of the small, often missed signs that show that you are moving forward, even when it doesn't feel like it. Hello everybody, I'm Catriona Morten. I'm a sensory motor psychotherapist. And this is Vega therapy, where you learn to calm your body, quieten your mind, and heal from within. So let's get started. Today we're looking at small signs that you're actually healing. Now, it can be very difficult when people are on their healing journey to know, are they actually getting better? Are we healing? And it's really important for our progress because it's hard work. Healing from trauma, healing from attachment wounds, it's hard. It can feel like a real slog at times and painful at times. And we need to know that one, we're on the right path, and secondly, that it's worthwhile. And one of the things that is really important is to know where you're going, know what it is that you're trying to heal, and to have a sense of what would that look like? What would that feel like? How would I know? So that you can look for those signs as we move forward. And it's very good as well to really get a good assessment in the beginning so that you know what it is that you're faced with, what everyday life is like. What's it like when you're triggered? What can you and can't you do? Is the trauma really limiting your life? And as you're going along, it's looking for those little signs, because in the beginning, that everything is just a complete mystery. It just feels like everything is chaotic, everyday life is difficult, everything kind of merges and fuses into one, or we become really fragmented and have no sense of who we are or what we're doing. We might be completely numb, or it might just feel like complete chaos inside. And in the beginning, when I first see people, it's helping them make sense of actually what's going on and why that makes sense from the past. And there's, that first stage of, oh my God, I just don't know what's going on, and everything, it's just chaos, and everything is terrifying, and everything I'm reactive to. That sense of unknown, being in it. The next stage is recognizing, oh my God, I'm in it. Recognizing if you're dissociated, recognizing if your nervous system's gone off. And that's a really important step, because once we can start recognizing, then we know that we've got at least the beginnings of an observer on board. Because when we're in it, we're just reacting and there's no room for observation. We're just kind of being carried along on whatever's happening, or bombarded with what it feels like is coming at us. And that second stage is brilliant. The next stage is recognizing that I'm triggered or dissociated or whatever it is, and I actually know what to do about it. I can feel it in my body, I can see all the signs, and I've got some really good tools I can use to be able to do that. Now, for some people, that observer phase actually brings other things that they weren't prepared for. When we begin to observe what we're doing, then we're often noticing a lot more about what's going on in our body. And it's important to recognize that that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. It's the place that we're trying to be. Well, we need to feel comfortable in here. We need to be able to check in and be aware of what's going on and what our body's telling us when it's having this reaction, so that it gives us a big clue as to what might be needed. And when people are really numb, when they actually start to feel emotion, it can feel a little bit discombobulating in the beginning, but it's a good thing. And being on a healing journey, I always say to people, it's not a linear thing. Don't expect the path to be smooth and consistent, because those original grooves that we've got, and they can be a pattern of behaviours or a very familiar thing that we do. We might just go into the numbing out phase or panic mode, or the negative beliefs and thoughts coming back up. And I always say to people, that's okay. We all hit bumps in the road, and it's not an indication that, oh, I'm getting nowhere, I'm back to square one. And actually, even just having that thought, which I hear a lot of people say, I feel like I'm back to square one. Even that, recognizing if you hear yourself saying that, that's progress, because you've recognized that you used to be at square one, and actually there's been distance traveled. And no, we're never back at square one. It's just that we're back in a familiar place. And knowing that it will pass, we'll get through this, we'll be able to regulate our nervous system, we'll be able to come back and function and breathe properly and have a sense of grounding, but it won't just be instant. But often a sign that actually you're on the right path is, well, how long would that have lasted? How long would you have been dissociated? How long would you have been in that triggered state? And would it have been more intense back then than it is now? When we can see that all the episodes get less in time, get less severe, yes, they might still happen, but the intensity and the time that they last will go down. And everything along the way, sometimes they're not easy steps, but you're just looking for those little signs, oh yes, I can have days that actually I feel really present. And I can have moments that I just think, oh, right in this moment, I can't actually believe that I'm safe. And it's actually okay to say that. I don't feel like I'm absolutely jinxing everything by just putting that out there. And if you're working on, it's terrifying being noticed, it's just being aware that, oh, I'm noticing myself. And actually, that's a really good first step. Yes, it might still be very difficult when I'm out there, but actually, yeah, I can notice. And anything that assists our observer, to just question, I wonder what's going on right now. I wonder what that's about. Oh, I wonder what temperature my feet are. All of those practices are really good because it just gives us that external view of ourselves, not from others, but from ourselves. I wonder what's going on right now. And if you find yourself just even asking those questions, brilliant. All of those are little steps, but sometimes the little steps actually have a huge impact on how things are in our day-to-day living. Sometimes when we look back, I know some people don't like to look back, and some people don't like reminders of how things were, and that's okay. If you're aware that actually I don't want to look back, I don't want to think what happened, that's progress. Because at least you're acknowledging it's back there. And for some people, they can look back and say, oh yeah, gosh, 6 months ago I was doing X, or not able to do X, Y, and Z. Or a year ago, what was I doing this time last year? What was daily life back then? The thoughts that I've had in my head, have they calmed down? Have they slowed down a little bit? Just that general kind of sense of well-being, or even if it's just a fleeting thing, if you've had that for an hour, well, that's brilliant because you know that it's possible, and next time it might be 2 hours or it might be a day. And recognizing everything as a step in the right direction. Healing isn't a straight line. It's full of pauses, dips and moments that make you question if you're really getting anywhere. But every time you notice a trigger, take a breath or choose to respond differently, that is healing. These small moments are your nervous system learning safety step by step. You're not back at square one. You're recognizing that there even is a square one, and that's progress. If this resonated with you, give the video a like and share it with someone who might need this reminder too. If you'd like to keep exploring gentle, realistic ways to heal, hit subscribe. There's more coming to support you on the journey, because real healing doesn't start in the mind, it starts in the body. I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye-bye.